welcome to American Baker in Germany. I'm Michelle, and today we're talking about vanilla sugar. What is it? How is it different from vanilla extract? What's the difference between vanilla and vanillin? We're talking about it all today. Let's get started. First off, what is vanilla? Vanilla beans come from the vanilla orchid. They are native to Mexico and Central America and were brought over to Europe with Cortez along with chocolate. The vanilla beans are actually seed pods that are created after the orchid is pollinated. The orchid must be pollinated by hand, which makes it very labor-intensive. Hence, vanilla is one of the most expensive spices in the world, second only to saffron. Vanilla beans are generally brown to black in color and are cut open to access the seeds, which are in a kind of paste. They have a very intense flavor, and the pods carry the flavor as well. Interestingly enough, bourbon vanilla has nothing to do with alcohol. It comes from the fact that it is often cultivated in the islands of the Indian Ocean, particularly Reunion, which was once called Ile Bourbon. Vanilla is cultivated commercially in Mexico, Madagascar, Reunion, and Indonesia. However, let's talk about vanillin for a moment. You may have heard the name. Vanillin, although it tastes quite similar, is produced in a lab, usually as a byproduct of paper making. Sounds yummy, doesn't it? Vanillin is then significantly cheaper than real vanilla and is the main aroma in imitation vanilla flavoring. It is still quite widely used as a cheaper alternative to real vanilla. Now, how is vanilla extract made? An alcohol that must be at least 70 proof or 35% alcohol is used. Vodka is widely used because it has the most neutral flavor, although bourbon and rum can also be used as a base. Then entire vanilla beans are placed in the alcohol and allowed to steep for several weeks. The alcohol is then bottled and sold as vanilla extract. So yes, you can get drunk off of a vanilla extract. It contains at least the same alcohol content as rum. So what about vanilla sugar? Vanilla sugar is made by placing whole vanilla beans in sugar and letting it steep for a few weeks. Similar to vanilla extract, but the sugar doesn't absorb the vanilla flavor as readily as the alcohol, so you need to use about 3 times as much vanilla sugar as vanilla extract to get about the same amount of aroma. It is quite popular to use vanilla sugar in Europe, although it is almost unheard of in other countries or regions of the world. This is my vanilla extract. I have found that the flavor of vanilla extract is a clearer flavor of vanilla, and I prefer it over vanilla sugar in cake and cookie recipes where vanilla is the main flavor of the baked good. If you read the ingredients, you will find it lists water, alcohol, and sugar as ingredients as well as aroma from vanilla beans. It should also give you the exact percentage of alcohol it contains. Now, I know a lot of people who are morally opposed to using alcohol of any kind in their cooking and baking. If this is the case for you, I hope I'm not disappointing you by letting you know that vanilla extract is quite alcoholic. Most extracts are. It would be worth checking that if you're trying to avoid alcohol of any kind. Here is one alternative that is relatively widely available. This is ground vanilla bean. It is not alcoholic at all. The negative is that the other additives can also flavor your batter. The ingredients listed are sugar, potato starch, and ground vanilla pods, as well as a preservative. The kind of starch can vary by brand, but in general there will be something in there that changes the flavor and consistency. It looks like this, kind of a grayish powder. You can substitute it 1-for-1 for vanilla extract, but since it's not a liquid, it can change the flavor a bit. The positive of using this one, though, is that you get the little black specks in your batter like you would if you had used actual vanilla seeds. Now we're finally at vanilla sugar. Vanilla sugar is widely available in Europe and is very popular. Pluses are, it's not at all alcoholic. It's quite cheap because one vanilla bean can make kilos of vanilla sugar, and it doesn't change the flavor or consistency of your dish like the ground vanilla pods can. Ingredients listed are sugar and aroma. In this case, it's the cheaper vanillin, but the actual vanilla is pretty easy to find as well. I would use this in recipes where the flavor of the recipe itself is not vanilla, but the vanilla is meant to strengthen the flavor of something else, like chocolate cake or peanut butter cookies. When writing recipes in Germany, I include the measurements for vanilla extract and vanilla sugar. Many bakers in Europe prefer vanilla sugar to the exclusion of vanilla extract. Vanilla extract is significantly more expensive than vanilla sugar and much less widely available. So people baking in Europe are often much more likely to have vanilla sugar on hand than vanilla extract. I think the alcohol factor might play a part in the decision as well. I hope this clears up any questions you've ever had about vanilla. If you enjoyed the tutorial today, hit that like button. And while you're down there, hit subscribe for regular cake videos, as well as recipes and tutorials. Visit us on Facebook or Instagram. We post every day.